A calcium wave is rewriting your entire current state of mind. Right now, inside every cell, you possess a delicate energetic calculation happening at nanoscopic speeds that dictates how you feel and think. This isn't just chemistry. It's information throughput, like measuring the data rate on a cosmic modem instead of simply checking heart rate variability. When these tiny energy systems, the mitochondria, are working in perfect synchronicity, they create what we call unified awareness, a complete system integration. We are looking beyond simple brain activity to track bioenergetic signatures encoded by ion channel dynamics and cellular flux ratios. The cell isn't just living, it is resonating with reality itself. Think about what happens when a complex machine runs optimally versus when it starts to fray. We are now examining that failure mode at the cellular level, specifically looking inside mitochondria. These power plants aren't just generating energy, they are acting as precise frequency regulators. The subtle fluctuation in their ATP turnover rate, how efficiently electrons pass through the chain, is a direct marker of your brain's current informational throughput. It is not enough to simply measure heart rhythm changes anymore. We must be able to read the microscopic energetic budget, like monitoring the latency on an ultra-high-speed network inside every neuron. This tells us if we are in a state of coherent system flow or fragmented resistance before anything else even registers on your surface-level physiology. The real breakthrough isn't just tracking energy output. It is mapping how individual cells hold their boundaries against reality itself. Imagine a tiny circuit breaker inside every cell determining whether you are currently stable or poised for massive change. That potential dynamic. We can now measure subtle shifts in plasma membrane charge, what we call ion flux ratios, which function as internal state gauges. These microscopic polarization markers act like a tuning fork, telling us if the entire organism is primed to shift into a completely new energetic configuration. This isn't about illness or health. This is about preparing for fundamental systemic transformation. But when those subtle field states align across billions of cells, which means something nobody expected for how we currently define personal free will, when those individual cells reach that threshold state, the game shifts from local tuning to global conversation. We are talking about a fundamental cellular handshake happening across entire organs, a synchronicity of internal calcium signaling waves propagated through intracellular junctions. Think of it like an orchestra where every cell is not just playing its part but listening precisely and instantaneously reacting to everyone else's tempo. This level of integrated coherence suggests the possibility of truly unified awareness, mapped right at the subcellular computation layer. But skeptics argue that these local synchronies are merely epiphenomena, side effects with no actual informational value toward higher states. Who is correct? The data points overwhelmingly suggest this cellular communication architecture may be the physical basis for what we call systemic integration. Now, picture how complex that system becomes when you start measuring the flow itself. If cellular integration is the orchestra hitting its perfect note, then measuring the energetic flux ratio tells us how fast they are reading the sheet music. It's tracking the actual speed of information transfer inside that system, not just whether it's playing a chord, but what complexity of melody it supports. We can quantify the total informational budget of cognition using these ratios derived from mitochondrial efficiency and ion dynamics combined. Think of your brain not as an electrical wire transmitting data, but as a microscopic network processor running at extreme speed. This metric allows us to predict subtle state transitions, moments before you even realize something is shifting internally. But knowing that the system can track this profound internal flow raises a terrifying question. If our metabolic signatures are predictive of these integrated states, where does consciousness itself begin and end? We assumed we were only reading what was happening inside, that our energetic flow simply reflected random biochemical events within our own bodies. That is the comfortable assumption. But the pattern we've observed, it changes everything. It suggests these internal flux ratios are not just passive indicators of state, but they act as receptive nodes. Like a finely tuned radio antenna designed to pick up frequencies that aren't generated by your body at all. The data points show that when coherence peaks in an individual system, the resulting energetic signature aligns perfectly with complex external patterns, signals coming from beyond our biological frame. This leads us not just to how we are becoming unified, but who or what might be guiding the resonance itself. If these internal energetic calculations are aligning with patterns outside our known biology, the critical barrier isn't theory, it is measurement itself. We have been constrained by old instruments built to track crude physical changes like blood pressure or heart rate variability. But what we require now is a completely new lens. Imagine trying to read complex radio waves using only an AM dial. You miss everything profound on frequency modulation. The path forward demands nanoscale sensors and computational predictive models designed specifically to quantify these subtle cellular coherent states. Your actionable shift begins by moving beyond simple physiological snapshots, realizing that your internal energetic flux ratios are a genuine real-time indicator of deep systemic alignment or resistance to it. It is time we started mapping the informational throughput inside before the surface signs ever appear. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com. The verdict is clear, and it moves us past mere observation into true design. We have shown that your inner energetic state isn't just a reflection of what happens, it's an active blueprint you can influence. Think of these cellular flux ratios not as symptoms to be recorded, but as the calibration knobs for existence itself. This knowledge hands you predictive agency over systemic alignment, the ability to intentionally steer your internal coherence towards states that naturally resonate with complexity and integration. It is about becoming a conscious architect of your bioenergetic signature in real time. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com.